Everybody, it's Fitchburg Airport Commission meeting, Wednesday, the 18th of June, 2025. We have commissioners in attendance today. To my far left, Eric Takal. To my immediate left, Paul Hathaway. To my far right, Rich Liberatore, and myself, the chair, Clayton Raymond. Also up here is Peter Kettle, the airport manager, for which he will be missed. He has given his resignation, and we'd certainly like to thank him for the work he's done. Signed on for 3 months, and here we are at 5 years.
Plus, 5.5.
5.5, yeah. And everything you've done, Peter, has certainly been appreciated, and the airport's a better place for it.
Thank you. Please remember, it's a commission. We're all together, so we did it. Okay?
Thank you.
Of course.
Members in attendance, Matt Karen from Gale Associates is here, and Bob Montana from Rockin Horse Enterprises, is it?
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome. Before we get started, last month's meeting minutes were sent out by Secretary Rich Liberatore, and I'm looking for a motion to accept.
Motion to accept.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Rich, what format file is that OTF file that you send out? The minutes come as on my Macintosh as a .otf. Do you send them as a Word or a PDF or?
It's an open doc format. I think it's the same thing because I can open on my Mac okay. I can't do it on my phone, but.
Has there been an issue?
The Mac just looked at me blankly when I tried to open it last time, but I think I need to open it with another app. We'll do it.
Is it just this month, or has it been an issue?
They've been coming through as OTFs, and some months I open them. It depends on what computer I'm using.
Does it accept PDF?
Sure.
Your computer? Yeah, just do it in PDF in future.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
No, they're coming in as .otf.
It did go out at something else the last time.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, next time, if you don't get it,
I'll ping you.
yeah, I'll text you on my phone to say I sent it out.
Got it.
In case it doesn't appear on your computer, and then I can resend it.
Perfect.
Right.
Yeah, I'm getting it. It's just it's in a format that the Mac is like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's like an ODT file or something like that, open document. Is that what you use?
That's what it was the last time.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not like Microsoft Word, but it's an open,
Yeah, it's been a
open
PDF
source
file
version.
all along.
We'll talk.
Okay.
All right.
No problem.
Action items from previous minutes, correspondence to the commission. I have nothing.
There is no correspondence, but the action items from the previous minutes, I just want to explain one thing.
Sure.
One of the items that we've been working on for a couple of years, the porta potty, it blew over in that heavy wind we had.
No.
It did.
I claimed my prize.
So they'd actually staked it down, Paul. They had staked it down. So I went over and the stakes were just pulled straight out.
Zoinks.
We must have had winds of maybe 80 miles an hour on the airport. And I called the Blue Waters, who actually supply it to us, and said, look, you've got to put in longer stakes. Well, they're that long, they can't push them all the way down, and they're out like this, so I don't think it's going to happen again.
Right.
So
That was the storm that all the power lines in the air
yes. Yeah, it went down.
on the rotary?
Yeah, and we lost the beacon as well.
No way.
Yeah, they blew it out. So,
Too bad it
But we're
didn't take
lucky.
out that tower.
sorry?
Said too bad it didn't take out that tower.
Which tower? No, that's true.
That
Yeah.
You know, if it was slightly weakened at the base. You know.
Well, I don't know if you've met our two new part-time linemen,
Yes,
but they're both big guys.
Yes.
And Pierre, have you met Pierre?
I have.
I said to Pierre, I said, come with me, we've got to stand this up. He said, okay. I said, you stand there. And he went, wow. He just stood the whole thing up by himself. I mean, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. So anyhow, I thought I'd like to mention that to you. So it's fixed, but everything's good.
That's great.
Okay? Thank you.
All right, very good. Correspondence to the commission, no. Item 2, Gale review of ongoing work. Item A, apron design and permit, fencing. Matt, Karen?
Yeah, no, good evening. Matt Karen with Gale Associates. Not an overly robust update this month. I merely came to see for my own two eyes Peter's end of his 90-day tenure as airport manager.
Yeah.
No, actually, I've worked with Peter now for, when he was on the commission previously, and in his capacity as an airport manager for probably the better part of 13 years. The day in and day out of coordinating with FAA and Mass DOT, there's a significant amount of work that goes in it. There's a significant amount of demand for airport management and representation from the Fitchburg Airport to be present at a lot of those meetings, shuffling paperwork. And I can honestly say, whenever we've reached out to Peter for assistance or to get him into a meeting or assist with getting documents signed, he's always stepped up to the plate. So, Peter, thank you very much for your support in that regard.
You're welcome.
From Gale Associates, thank you very much.
Thank you.
With respect to Gale's update this evening, there are two projects that we are administering on behalf of the Airport Commission. The first one is the design and permitting for the main apron reconstruction. As you can see, there is no update since last month. The work is still ongoing. This project isn't scheduled to be reconstructed until fiscal year 2026. The bidding will be put out to bid later this year, so the work is just sort of in progress on this one here. The design and install wildlife fencing project. The project went out to bid on June 4th. Bids are due to City Hall on June 26th at 1 o'clock local time. A pre-bid meeting was held on June 13th to discuss the project with potential bidders. We've received some questions that have been submitted by those bidders. We are putting together a response to those, and we'll be issuing an addendum on June 23rd. But the next big date is June 26th when we open bids to see what those come in at and what we have for availability of funding to move forward with that project. Are there any questions with either of those projects?
No, can I just add something, Matt?
Sure, please.
Today we actually had two of the bidders come to the airport, and I got the truck and took them all the way around the outside down Crawford Street to show them really what needs to be done, because there's a lot of work
There is.
to get those trees out initially, and then down the north side where the old AKS recycling plant was, and they've actually got a person coming in that does trees only. And they're going to pull the actual current fences out, and then he's going to go in and remove all the trees for 20 feet so that they've got a workspace all the way down, because there's no way they'd get through to get to the fence. Yeah. So it's going to be basically from Cobbler Drive all the way down the fence area. And they asked questions. I said, look, don't ask me the questions. You've got to ask the questions of Mark. But one thing they did ask was about the entrance into Cobbler Drive and the gate there. They said, is that a push-button gate or is that an electric gate? I said, you'll have to ask Mark that as well, I said. But if we want an electric gate like the others to actually feed the new hangars that are coming in, can you get a signal there? And they said, yeah, but it's going to be expensive. So Mark should be contacted on that.
Yeah, and I saw that you sent Mark the couple videos when I was on my way out here, so you've got those. So, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, appreciate that.
Of course.
Yep.
Of course.
Do the bidders have enough time between the questions being answered and the 26th?
I would think so. Yeah, that's pretty standard.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Good.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Matt. Item 3, new business. Airport budget.
We're very fortunate because the budget went through the City Council with no problems whatsoever, with no cuts whatsoever. And we were the only department in the city to get that. Wow. And I think they're actually realising the value of the airport to the city. which is really good because we've all been fighting on this for the time that we've had the commission together. So, you know, which is good. So yeah, we went straight through, which is really good.
Great job.
Thank you. Thanks.
Wow.
That's excellent. Item 2 under new business, airport manager.
Yeah. As it happened, the actual advertisement pulled in 11 applicants, and we sorted them out, and Rich was involved in that, the chair was involved in that, and we initially chose 2, and that went to 3 when somebody came in from an airfield down near the Cape, and who said I was the acting airport manager, and we had that person in for an interview, and really it was just a summer job for them. So it wasn't really an acting airport manager. So we ended up with those 2 people actually getting second interviews. And one of them we chose out of the 2. And unfortunately, he came back saying, I'm sorry, I need to spend time with more time with my family. So I'm going to be a consultant and spend more time with my family and do the job, you know, within that time frame. So we went back to the other person that we'd already told the job's already gone out because we offered it, and, you know. So luckily we managed to recall him in again, and Rich and I then met with him, and basically what we're waiting for now, he's accepted it verbally, but he's negotiating with the City Council at the moment and HR on things like vacation days, sick days, personal days, and things like this, because he's been with Massport for 26 years, and he's found out that he can transfer all what he had there over to the city because it's still government, which is good. And we're waiting for him to, you know, just decide what he wants to do. If that doesn't happen, then we'll have to go out for, or pull back some of the ones that we overlooked. Have another look at their resumes,
Yeah.
and see what we can find. So that's
Yeah, I mean,
where we
if I
are
could
at the
just
moment.
elaborate, there were not any other airport managers or people that had 4 or 5 years as an airport manager that applied. So to say there was an exact fit would be an overstatement. So, you know, there were, you know, 11 to choose from, which was good. We boiled it down to 3, and we were hoping we'd have a commitment from one of the 3 by now, but
So we're just waiting.
we are waiting, yeah. Not an easy task,
No.
yeah. Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome.
Old business, new name for airport. I forget why we left this on here. I think we were going to table it just because we were waiting on a ruling from maybe the city council as...
Yes, I spoke to President Zarella the last time I saw him, which was a week ago, and I asked him about it, and he said, well, basically I told him that Jeff Bean, the previous mayor, had actually said that it was approved like 14, 15 years ago. And I asked President Zarella if it was still approved now. And he said, no, Peter. He said, because it was approved then, circumstances have changed, the airport's changed, it's not approved. So I'm leaving, basically, Jeff Bean to start the process over again. And that's the best thing we can do. So he'll have to go to the city council, well, come to the commission first, and then the city council. But, I mean, the answer from the FAA and MassDOT is still going to be the same. As long as it's Fitchburg Municipal Airport, something field, they accept it. As long as it's got that ID on, FIT.
Yeah, so it would be up to us and the city council
Yes.
as a,
If he starts it again.
so we need 2 yeses.
Yes.
Okay. Does he know that?
No?
Okay,
No, he's not at the meeting.
Yeah.
You know, we issue the minutes.
all right. Okay, well, hopefully he's listening.
Is there a process as to the order, like do we approve first and then the city council, or vice versa?
Well, to be quite honest, I think it's got to go through us, because if the city council approve it and we don't, then, you know,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, I'm okay with it,
Okay.
being the first at bat.
Okay.
All right, item B, terrain power light.
Yes, I left that on because you know the last situation. You know, we had the quote for $125,000.
Yeah.
I spoke to the FAA and asked them if they'd got a standard scope of work, and the answer was no, because they're all different, they're all in different areas, they're all on different terrains, etc. But Owen suggested that we put it on the airport apron project next year. I don't know if, I think you were on that circulation, weren't you?
Jackie filled me in on that.
Oh, did she? Okay, excellent, excellent. So that's the way, you know, to get it done quicker and have the money. It'll still have to go out to RFP, and then, you know, the money could be added onto the apron project, which is far easier than doing a separate one, he said.
Yeah, that's very smart.
Yeah,
So they'd either subcontract somebody for it,
right,
or they, one way or another,
Yeah.
it'd be in the bid.
yes.
Would it be baked into that one project as
Right.
opposed to standalone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. All right, so that is the direction we're going to go.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave it there, okay?
We probably should make the landowner aware.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. I just wanted to push it through you first, you know?
Yeah.
So I'll let him know tomorrow.
Okay.
I mean, he's waited 20 years. I don't think another year's going to make any difference.
Well, you never
so-
know. People get fickle when
Do
they
you
get
know,
older,
do
you
you know who did the first initial check on that to see if it could come down?
No.
He's sitting over there. Matt.
Really?
Matt did it, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
couldn't have been that long ago. Matt's not that old.
Yeah. I know. So, okay.
All right. Item C, minimum standards. So last month, we agreed to put it on the city website for comment, public comment. I asked Peter the other day, we're not privy to the comment.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, are we?
We are, but there hasn't been any.
Oh,
There was none on the public comment on the city council, and there was none on the airport comment section. Nobody came back.
so you're telling me, Peter, that Paul did such a good job on
Yeah.
the minimum standards?
Absolutely, it's accepted.
Nobody's,
No, nobody said anything, unless they went back to Paul individually.
So I did get some feedback at Aero Fair from FACT and FPA members, and it was overwhelmingly positive. And they thanked the commission for the considerations for Part 91 operators and the clarity that was in there around how it impacts them, which
Yeah.
is not much at all.
yeah.
And
No, I know that was
Generally, people were-
a change.
copacetic.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone's,
People are worried about getting their aircraft serviced.
they were, and that
Yeah.
has been addressed, so.
Yeah.
I think it's good to go. We can vote to adopt it on a specific date, since, has our comment period come and gone now?
Yeah,
I had said
Yeah, 30
30 days,
days.
whether it said that in the comment.
it was 30 days
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
city, yeah.
So we could vote to
So-
adopt it. I could put a version on it saying effective, and then Rev 10 is the effective version.
Make it July the 1st.
Is Rev 10 the one that went to the city?
No, the one that's, I think the city's 9, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But we'll just rev it one more time.
Okay.
So you have to change, or we could say it's 9A or whatever version, whatever your preference is. But we do have to insert an effective date there. So the first clause says, these minimum standards effective on, and it's blank now.
Yeah.
And the cover page also says blank.
Why don't we call it 9A, just so that
Yep.
people don't think that, oh, they changed something in the
Nothing
body,
changed.
you know?
Yeah.
Well, but those are draft numbers. Wouldn't you just go with a version 1.0 or
That's a good idea. I like that.
2.0 since there was a previous version?
Or you could call it version 2025, which would be more clear.
Yeah.
Give it a year.
Yeah.
You're
So
gonna
somebody
nod.
picks it up to like
2025.01 or something.
2025.01.
Yeah.
You computer
Well, in case you
guys,
come up
you're
with-
killing me.
A-1.
Yeah, okay.
There are standards for versioning.
Yeah.
We'll have it on next month's agenda to accept.
Or do you want to do it now? And just rename it, and it's done.
Yeah. Yeah, otherwise you can't do it until like August 1st, because our next meeting is
Yeah.
July.
I make a motion to,
Yeah.
since the comment period is closed and everyone seems copacetic, to accept draft 9 of the minimum standards and call it version 2025, edit it and give it to the city to post.
I'll second that motion.
Well, I'm up for that. Vote.
Aye.
Yeah, because it has to be submitted to the city before anything gets, before it becomes a solid document.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's where we're headed to now.
they want the airport to make the decision and write the document. They're just going to go through it and say, okay.
Yeah.
Effective date would be July 1st?
I hate to throw a monkey wrench into it, but the FAA may want to just take a look at it if we ask them to.
That is the procedure.
They're not going to approve it, but they could say, hey, this is discriminatory or something like that.
Well, who gets it first, the FAA or the city?
Well,
If I may, I think it's better to go to the FAA, get their approval and say to the city, it's been approved by the FAA, we need your approval.
There's multiple ways to skin a cat. I mean, typically on the planning board in Groton, when we create a bylaw and then the town votes on it, that is then where it can be reviewed before or after by the Attorney General's office, and then it may or may not be amended. Sometimes we don't take their advice, and it's just like, yeah, you're misreading this, or we don't want to do that. Sometimes we make the changes. So probably better before we adopt. We just voted to adopt the minimum standards, right? We can vote to unadopt them.
Yeah?
that's correct.
You know, what turnaround time do you think you're going to get from the FAA on something that substantial?
If I was a gambling man,
It's a lot of
be after August.
I would suggest that we post it as this is what we've adopted. If you see any major issues with it, what we'll do is we'll amend it, and then we can vote to amend it later.
Yep,
We'll rev it again.
I like that.
That way we've got minimum standards say,
2025, 2.111.
well, exactly. But I think it's more effective to go to them and say, hey, we've gone through and updated our minimum standards. They've been adopted by the commission. As a courtesy, your thoughts are welcome. And then it's not hanging out in the wind for the FAA to
Yeah.
find the time to go through 40 pages,
It gives them a gentle push,
right?
or it really makes them unhappy.
I think they'd just be happy to see any
Oh,
minimum.
you think the FAA is going to take it apart?
No, I know they're not.
No,
No, they're just going to say,
They've stated in their
This is good.
regulations that they're not an approval,
Right.
you know, they're not in the business of approving them.
right, and nor is the city. I don't think they're going to act
The
on it.
city is going to probably take our lead.
But if we say it's already been submitted to the FAA, now we're sending it to you for your approval, and they're going to say, well, if FAA agrees with the document, then how should we, not follow?
but does the city need to formally approve? I mean, it has been posted to the city.
I say we make sure we send it to the
Website.
FAA first.
Yeah, because it's been posted to the city website.
Yeah.
And there's no comments.
And then the
and
city
it's
will
been
just get it and say,
approved.
yeah.
It should just go through.
Yeah, it's implicit there.
But remember, it is their airport, so,
It is a good point, Rich.
The city's not going to twist and dissect a document that's approved by, I would assume they would say that's a higher authority when you go to the federal government,
Absolutely.
and they've approved it, the city will say, okay,
Well, but the process is the comment period has come and gone.
yeah.
So city did not comment.
Right.
And B, there's always, our intent for this was always for it to be a living document. And now that it's modern and structured, and I think anybody with any major objections in the future, we could just vote to amend the minimum standards. And that will be the process going forward. If there's a new technology or something we haven't considered, we just rev it.
So as the document stands now, there's no other changes that need to be made.
Other than the date, effective date.
All right, so that we could just send that off to them.
Well, yes, and we just approved it.
Yep, just to get their approval.
No, we approved the minimum standards as a
We
commission.
approve them, they just review them.
All right.
And then it will be distributed to the FAA
Yeah.
and say, hey, this is what we've
Okay.
adopted. Anything stands out, please comment.
Right, and if there's any comments or anybody wants a change or disagrees with something, they can bring it before the commission. We then
I
decide what
suppose
to do
we
with
could
it.
make a motion to send the minimum standards to the FAA for review.
Exactly.
Why don't we do so?
All right.
Keeps us out of hot water. You know,
That's in parallel with the adoption and the date, so they're going to get their copy to review. We're not waiting on their comments to.
No.
I would be okay with that. Yes.
So we've adopted it, effective date 7/01.
Yeah.
The motion is to send them to the FAA and say, hey, this is what the commission's adopted. The comment period is closed, but we still would love your input.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I would second that.
Okay.
All right.
I'll vote to send to the feds now that we've approved it. 701, you mean 618?
How are we going to label
Well, the
that?
approval date and the effect is an effective date. I think that's what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So I'd say version 2025 is effective on, let's say,
July the 1st.
July 1st.
So the label on the minimum standards will be version 2025.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will forward the new one to you ASAP.
Yes, because I have 9 in my computer now.
Yeah, so this one will not
Yeah.
say draft, it will say
Yeah.
version 2025 as adopted on 6/18/2025, effective date 7/01/2025.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that makes sense.
Yep. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Out of courtesy, I will send it to the MassDOT as well.
Great idea.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think that by us approving it, we're not saying, Mother, may I, can you please grade my homework before I hand it in?
Absolutely
That kind of
not.
stuff.
It's for information.
We're being autonomous, we're pushing it down the
Yeah.
road, and then they're more likely to give it a cursory look and say, this is fine. As I said before, it's a lot of prior art in there that nobody complained about
Yeah.
from Massachusetts Airport, so.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm happy with that.
Groovy.
Item D, Rocking Horse Enterprises, Phase 1.
Okay. Mr. Montana's here tonight.
Yes.
We had quite a few discussions, obviously, over the past X months since all the plans and everything's been put together, with Matt's input at Gale, et cetera, and also the FAA and MassDOT. And I had a lot of questions coming because things were seeming to be a little bit delayed. So Bob and I discussed it, and he put a letter out to all the people that have actually identified the first phase commitment. So if you just want to say out what you want to say, Bob, or I can read this out, it's up to you.
You can read it out, that's fine.
Is that okay?
I'm here for any comments or questions.
All right, okay.
Thank you, Bob.
Hello, everyone. Sorry it's been a bit since I've provided you with an update on the status of the hangar project. Things have been changing so much I've been reluctant to send an update out for fear the information would not be accurate. Moving forward, please send any inquiries to the following email address so they can be answered quickly and not lost in my everyday emails. Please send them to info@rhe-development.com. So there is good news and not so good news. Good news, first and foremost, the project is still moving along, albeit much slower than expected. Electrical design with Unitil is complete and will begin soon. And the first 2 buildings have been ordered, 6 unit, 4 unit. Our plan is to stagger the remaining building orders 30 to 45 days later. So basically, as soon as Bob, gets knowing exactly when they're going to be delivered, he'll start on the bases and get everything in with Unitil coming down. So, where did I get to? Not so good news. Due to the extra time it took to get the lease agreement completed and signed with the city and the electrical design with Unitil, it created a snowball effect pushing back the timeline for construction and milestones we had hoped to achieve. We also received that notice from the building manufacturer that the lead time on the buildings is currently 7 months. give or take a month. This clearly pushes building installation into 2026. We do plan on completing as much of the infrastructure as possible this year so as to speed up the building installations when they arrive. Contracts and condominium documents are still being prepared and are delayed due to a delay in getting the engineered drawings from the building manufacturer that will be included in the condominium documents. We hope to have the documents soon. I would ask that everyone respond to the new email address with the name and address, along with a contact phone number that you would like on your contract documents. Thank you for your time and patience, Bob Montana. So that went out on Thursday, June the 12th. So almost a week ago. And we've had some favourable comments back, saying, glad it's moving forward, we're ready.
Yeah.
So,
Bob, I got a few questions for you. 45 days in between the first order and the second order. So you anticipate about a 45-day build for each of the phases?
Yes.
Okay. And how many phases, really? 3?
Well, there's 3 phases, but it's 45 days between building sets. So basically what we're doing is we're ordering a 6-unit building and a 4-unit building at a time. So those 2 will show up. The next 2 will be 45 days behind those. The next 2 will be 45 days behind those. Yeah. Just so we don't have 6 buildings sitting at the airport taking up room, waiting to be put up.
Yeah, so my second, did we provide a staging area for you, or are you going to use the at least land that you...
We haven't determined a staging area, but I don't know. We'll probably have room until we get to the last set of buildings.
Yeah.
Obviously, we won't have any place to put those, but I would think that if we stage somewhere over like Cobbler Drive, it would be it wouldn't have any impact to the airport. So, yeah.
you could actually stage it on the non-aviation, just the other side of the cross to 20. Right. Because when the new fence goes in, there's going to be a massive gate there in any case. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just, Peter's going to be on vacation somewhere.
Hopefully.
If this isn't clear in my head, I'm going to be going, oh, no. Okay, so 45, 45, 45. I know it's a perfect world, but rain and snow.
And that's for the first 30. And then the second 30 will follow the same phase.
45 days?
Yeah.
Right after that?
Correct? Yeah.
Any commissioners have any other comments on that project? It's a big project. It's a big deal. Yeah. It's going to create some revenue, fuel.
It's good to see communication with the potential customers. I mean, that's 90% of the battle, is people not having fear, uncertainty, and doubt about what's going on with the project. And I would highly encourage, almost like biweekly communications about, any potential delays or what's going on. So, but I think when people start seeing trucks out there and people doing work, they'll get excited.
Well, I've been speaking with Peter. We've designed a couple of, I don't know if you want to call them advertising signs, but a couple of signs indicating that we're building hangars. Peter has the final design of it. I sent it to him in an email. So we have 2 signs. We're hoping to put one up at the north end of the non-aviation area to promote the project, and then one on the fence closer to the admin building to let people know that hangars are coming, and if you're interested in the next 2 phases, that here's the contact information. So.
Good.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Just to let you know, we do have 3 or 4 people already signed up for the second phase, haven't we? So, which is good. And that's without advertising. So,
Second phase being the additional.
the additional 30.
Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I think, like Paul said, on something else we were talking about, people drive past here and they don't know what's going on. And with it on the Crawford Street Road, right there, it's showing people.
Yeah.
And when people fly in as well, I want to face one of them to the airport side.
Oh, I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I think right by the fuel farm or the terminal.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to new hangars coming
Yeah.
2026, 2027. That would be critical
Yeah.
to word getting around, you know.
And the other thing I'm going to do is, being a member of MAMA, I'm going to send it to the executive director of MAMA saying, please send this to all the airports.
Yeah. The GA flyer, which is you find in some airports, not all,
Right.
a little paper publication. I don't think their ads are terribly expensive, but usually when there's new hangars going up, I've seen it, you know, when they did it at Norwood or Taunton, they had a black and white ad that said, you know, new hangars coming this year, call this number. And I think that's somewhat effective, getting the word out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely.
But I mean, demand exceeds supply in this area, so I don't think marketing is the primary problem. It's project management, right?
Yeah. No, it's all good news. I'm looking forward to it. We good?
We're good.
Bob, thank you for coming tonight. Appreciate it.
Best of luck.
Item E, Aero Fair.
Yeah, I put that on really.
It was a little cloudy.
It was more than a little bit cloudy. Paul had his TBM out there. And basically the people from the Pilots Association were all down there with their planes out and a tractor and trailer. I sort of forego pie. So maybe there was 15 to 20 people on each of them. But then it closed a little bit early because nobody was there. The Young Eagles didn't fly because it wasn't conducive to flying, especially kids.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was a little bit of a disappointment, but people know we were there the FPA were there, you know, so same thing next year, I think.
Well, yeah, I'd make two comments on that. I think that's accurate. I think that summer in New England has shifted to the right. And the last two Aero fairs and the last three events have been soggy. And I wouldn't wonder if it's better to have it in the fall.
Yeah, maybe it is.
And I'm going to suggest to the folks there that potentially they have it in the fall when we have drier, clearer weather, it's more predictable. We just seem to be in the cycle of soggy Junes. And we all kind of have it in our heads from 10, 15 years ago that June was a beautiful, dry time of year, but it's not the case anymore, I don't think.
No.
And winter doesn't start till January now around here. I mean, we've had very warm Novembers. So they might think about that. But even with the limited number of people that showed up, I did have some lovely interactions with young people and their parents about aviation. And, you know, it was the quality, not the quantity.
I brought my grandchildren. Paul let them fly it. Took it around the patch a couple times.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice.
The little one was reluctant, but
He'll come around.
he'll come.
So it must have rained. I was going to say I was camping in New York, and it rained overnight, Friday night into about 9 o'clock Saturday morning, and
Yeah.
it must have been it was headed this way.
It was drizzly. It
Yeah.
didn't really pour. It was
Okay.
just constant drizzle. Man, it was. And the 700 scattered to broken. You couldn't do Young Eagles, unfortunately. So.
Yeah.
It's the big draw. I mean, they're
Right,
oversubscribed
right.
for that.
Yeah.
Of course. Gets sold out every time. Well, sold out, but yeah.
Right.
Overlooked.
Yeah, I'm sure there's room in the fall. I mean, a lot of the big events, the air shows and stuff, they're all towards August. So maybe they get the word as well. Okay, financial review, approval of commitments and abatements. Yes, we have one.
If you could just sign that one for Kyle Higgins, please. It's for $307. He was charged, but he didn't actually let us know that he'd left the tie down, and he moved into T42, which I knew. I didn't see his plane there. I assume he got it in an annual somewhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was good. He did pay us for the time that he was on the tie down. So I thought it was only appropriate that we keep on not sending him bills anymore.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. So item 6, executive session. We will have an executive session this evening, and we will not be coming.
Can I stop you? We will not have an executive session this meeting. this evening. I put it on there thinking that we would, but talking to Attorney Provencher, he said, Peter, he said, we don't need one. And he told me this the day before yesterday. And I said, okay. I said, but it's already on the agenda. He said, just say that it's not going to happen.
Okay.
I said, and what's the reason? He said, because he's virtually got an agreement from the FPA co-op based on the executive session that we had last month, and he's putting the agreement together now to go that way that you all spoke about and agreed to.
That's great.
So it's good news.
Fair enough.
Okay?
Forget everything I said about item 6.
Disregard.
Disregard, please.
Disregard.
And basically what he's going to do is going to include verbiage out of the one agreement that they did 20 some odd years ago
Yeah.
into the new agreement, but following the same. So it'll
An
be
amendment,
perfect.
if you
Yes.
will. Yes.
Okay?
Very good. That was a
Excellent.
long time coming, I'm glad.
Do we need a motion to adjourn?
Let's not think about the man-hours involved in that project.
No.
Very shortly. Date and time of next regular meeting is July 16th, 6 p.m. here. Regular meeting, motion to adjourn this meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
And a vote.
Aye.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Time. Holy mackerel.
Gavel it.
It
And I think
is
I will be here.
6:56.
With a 7-minute
We
late.
started, Rich, at
And Peter will
6:15.
most likely be